Tiger bullpen couldn't hang on. LSU drops game 2 to Tennessee 9-3. Can the Tigers win the rubber match? Let's talk about it. Locked on LSU. Here we go.
You are Locked On LSU, your daily podcast on the LSU Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Okay, let's get it. It is Locked on LSU, your team every day. I'm your host, Matt Moscona. Thanks for making us your first listen. We're free, available wherever you get podcasts, of course, on YouTube as well. So please subscribe. As always, one of the fastest ways to help us grow is by leaving your comments below. So thank you so much for that. LSU loses game 2 to Tennessee 9-3. The score hardly indicative of how this game went. LSU and Tennessee were neck and neck, nip and tuck throughout the entire thing, man. Tennessee put up a 2 spot in the 4th to go up 2-0. They put up 1 in the 7th to go up 3-0. Tigers respond with back-to-back homers from Milam and Braswell, bottom 7 to pull it within 3-2. I mean, you're thinking this is going to be all the dramatics in the world. And the LSU bullpen gives up a 6 spot in the 8th. What it is, man. Tigers would rally with a run in the bottom of the 8th. John Pearson hit a solo shot there. 3 runs for the Tigers on just 4 hits. The 3 runs were all 3 solo homers. And LSU loses 9-3. LSU was out hitting this ball game 11-4. Tennessee left 12 on base. LSU just 6. The bottom line is these are arguably the 2 most talented teams in America. And Tennessee is showing you that they are more talented than you are. They're a more talented, better team than you are. But for an epic collapse, they'd be on the verge of a sweep here Sunday. You give LSU all the credit in the world for coming up with the big swings in the bottom of the 9th in game 1, but that door was open because Tennessee committed 2 errors. And in this ball game, when you look at the 8th and how that all transpired, that started with a hit by pitch, then a ground out. They singled against the shift. So this is the hard part for me, man. Like this, I'm trying to be really reserved and really I'm trying to be very, 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 I don't want to say reserved, just very level-headed. But I look at the 8th when this thing got away from you, and it started because you hit a guy, you got a ground out, and then you gave up a single against the shift, and then you intentionally walked a guy, then you hit a guy with the bases loaded. So, yes, they came up with a 3-run homer, which is a big blow against Williams. But you hit a guy, you gave up a single against the shift, you intentionally walked a guy, you hit another guy. That's 3 base runners you gave them and a 4th because of your decision to shift. That game got away from you because the 8th inning got away and 4 people got on base in that inning when you let them on base. That's hard to stomach. Like, if they were putting good swings on good pitches, that's different. But this is the thing that will keep you from whatever your goals are. If your goals are win the national championship, and this team is capable. We all watch game 1, man. We watch Kate Anderson go 7 1/3, strike out 11. You're capable. But when you go in the 8th inning at home against Tennessee and you hit a guy, you let a guy get on because you shift stupidly and they get on single through the shift, you intentionally walk a guy, you hit another guy with the bases loaded. That's the tough part, man. And it's just going to come down. It's going to come down to those situations where you have your best guys out of the bullpen on the bump and not Cooper Williams. And I'm not Chase Shores. I'm not trying to dump on Cooper Williams. Please don't misunderstand me. He's had good moments, and I think he'll have good moments. I mean, he's a tall lefty that throws hard. He's going to be really good. I mean, Kate Anderson a year ago was a tall lefty that had a good arm, but couldn't get guys out in SEC play. So please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it's a wash. I'm just saying your Achilles heel, obviously, is your bullpen. Your inability to count on anyone consistently other than Zach Cowan or Casey Evans. Other guys have done well for you at times, but the ability to count on them consistently is the problem. This was a 3-2 ball game, and it got away from you in the 8th, and it didn't get away because their great hitters started peppering you all over the field. It got away from you because you hit 2 guys, you shifted, you intentionally walked a guy, you hit a guy with the bases loaded, and then you give up the big blast. Anyway, Grant Fontenot looked good. Hat tip Grant Fontenot. Y'all, I thought Anthony Ianson was really good tonight, man. He's the way that I've described Ianson, if you're an everydayer, thank you for that. I appreciate you for being here. You've heard me say this. Ianson is effective. He's not efficient. On Friday night, Cade Anderson went 7 1/3 on 100+ pitches. Ianson went 5 2/3 on 111. He's really good, man. He struck out 8, but he walked 4. You know, I go back and I look at the beginning of this ball game, the top of the first. Ianson gets a strikeout to start the game. I mean, I need to go check it. I think it was a 3-pitch strikeout. I need to check the box score. Forgive me if I look this up really quickly. Here we go. It was a 3-pitch strikeout to start the game. And then Gavin Keelan steps up to the plate. One of the best hitters in the country. Arguably the best hitter in the country. Transfer from Louisville, who LSU wanted desperately. Tennessee paid him more. God bless. Keelan goes up there. You get him down 1-2. Got him on the ropes. Best hitter in the country, works an 11-pitch at-bat. Ultimately singles. By the way, the next batter was Fisher, who hit the lazy fly to center when Stanfield charged in probably 50 yards and made the diving catch. Incredible play by Stanfield. And then Ianson got out of it by striking out Ensley in the first. But the point is, Ianson got through that first without really allowing any solid contact. He's effective. He's just not efficient. So, it took you 20+ pitches to get through the first, and it's hard to extend deep in the ball game whenever you can't be efficient. If we look back, I'll look at my notebook here. If you look back at Friday, Anderson had a 9-pitch third, a 9-pitch fourth, a 10-pitch fifth. You want to know how he was able to extend into the 8th inning? That's how. Why did Ianson come out in the 6th? He's effective. He's not efficient. Eventually, you got to figure out how to get someone to swing weakly at a first pitch strike and pop it up, and you get a 1-pitch out. Strikeouts are awesome. They're fun, gets people juiced. What's better is a pop-up on the first pitch, is a ground ball on the second pitch. It's better. It allows you to extend deep into the ball game. I'm scanning through my notes as we do this. By the way, if you're new, thank you so much for being with us. We go live after every game here on the Locked On LSU YouTube channel. So please subscribe, smash the like button, hit the bell so you're notified whenever we go live. I'll give you my thoughts and we'll get to your comments. Please drop them in. Bottom 5, you had a great opportunity, man. You had a leadoff double, bottom 5. Oh, man. This is the one, God, dog. This is the one that's probably just going to eat you alive. Milam leads off the 5th with a double. Then Braswell pops out to second base. They pinch hit Larson for Aaron Beatty in that situation. They throw a wild pitch, so Milam goes to third. So you got a runner on third now with 1 out. Larson walks. They drop a foul ball, which is an E4 in that situation. And then Stanfield comes up and flies out to right. And then Curiel tries to bunt for a hit. And it's ultimately a ground out. I mean, I'm not opposed to trying to bunt for a hit. I tell you this all the time. I hate bunting. But if you're going to bunt to get on base, great. If you're going to bunt to score a run, fine. I'm not good with sack bunting. But in that situation, you got Derek Curiel, who's the leading hitter on your team. I mean, if the third baseman is playing back and you can catch him off guard, fine. If they're shifting and you got a really good hitter who's got great back control who can hit against the shift, great. Trying to drag bunt in that situation with a runner on third, man. I don't know. You look at the final score, it's 9-3. I'm not going to say that was the difference in the ballgame. The difference in the ballgame was the fact that your bullpen couldn't hold the rope in the eighth, and it got away. I mean, hat tip to Milam and Braswell, back-to-back solo homers in the seventh, which was awesome. Got you within 3-2, and you're feeling like, all right, here we go. But, your Achilles heel is your bullpen. It's been your Achilles heel all year, and they weren't able to hold you in it. So, Tigers lose 9-3. Counts as one. So, that's the good news. Just counts as one. So the series is tied. You go into a rubber match on Sunday. So how do you win the rubber match on Sunday? That's the big question now. So I'll be really interested to see what Jay does. Does he start Connor Ware? Does he start Kason Evans? I know a lot of y'all have been calling for Evans to move into the rotation. I don't think you move Evans into the rotation, but it's a situation where he hasn't pitched yet this weekend. So you make a decision. Does he start for you and try to get you off to a really good start? Or do you start someone else and hope you give him the ball with the lead to maybe get you home? That's what Jay has to decide. Last weekend, it was Connor Ware. Got the start for LSU in game 3. That's probably the decision that I would make. I would probably go Ware. And the second he runs into trouble, I would go to Zach Cowan, who only threw 13 pitches on Friday, and then go to Evans. Ware, Cowan, Evans, in theory, each in 3-inning stints should be able to get you home. And then you got to count on your offense to be able to break through. Tennessee's likely going to start Tegan Kuhns. He's a freshman who's a good arm talent, but a guy who's had some issues. Last week against Kentucky, he took the loss. Just went an inning and 2/3, 2 runs on 2 hits. He got the win against Ole Miss, although he only went 2 2/3. Took the loss against A&M 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. 4 runs on 4 hits, struck out 3, walked 3, 2 2/3. So you're facing a freshman on the road. And your veteran hitters should be able to get something done here. So it's likely going to be Tegan Kuhns for Tennessee. He hasn't pitched yet this weekend. He's been the starter, the last 3 weeks for Tennessee here in the weekend. We'll see if that's the route they go. And for LSU and Jay Johnson, my guess is they'll either go Ware or Evans. I would like to see them start with Ware. First sign of trouble. Maybe Ware can get you through the lineup once. Then you go to Cowan, then you go to Evans. That would be the preferred way, and hopefully you get through against them. Okay, y'all. It's Locked on LSU. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here on this Saturday night after 11 p.m. Central Time. Tigers lose 9-3, rubber match on Sunday. Let me knock out my very quick break. We'll come back, and I'll get to your questions, comments, all that stuff. So drop them in. I appreciate you for hanging out with us. It's Locked on LSU, your team every day. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades. Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need, delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers the expert support and industry-leading service you need, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trademaster program offers exclusive perks like dedicated phone line, free shipping, discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trademaster program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use the promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's over at supplyhouse.com. Okay, Tigers lose 9-3. Let's get to your questions and comments. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Saturday night. Monty, what's LSU's batting average against starting pitching in SEC play? Give me 1 second, Monty. Now, I will give you that number exactly, but this won't be updated after Game 2 of the SEC series because they haven't updated that yet, but I can tell you here in 1 second. Excuse me. Sorry. You can count me down in like 5 seconds. I'll have it. Here we go. Okay. LSU's batting average, cumulative team batting average in conference play is 276. The cumulative team batting average for the season is 313. So about 40 points lower in conference play as opposed to overall. I don't have non-conference only, but overall is 313. Conference only. So overall includes conference. Conference only 276. And it's interesting, man. Stanfield, conference only. Stanfield 375, Curriell 329, Dickinson 319. Those are the only everyday players above 300. Now, the asterisk is Braswell, who's at 306. Excuse me, but we've seen a platoon there with Reeves. Braswell has 36 conference ABs, batting 306. Reeves 19 at 263. That's coming into Game 2. So, Josh Pearson 240, Ethan Fry 224, Milam 188. That was all coming into this game. Hey, Brad, this team's hard to watch. Offense versus non-Missouri SEC teams has been horrid. That's just not true. Horrid is not accurate. But you've got to understand, Brad, like when you face Liam Doyle, that's a dude that's going to be a top 15 pick in the draft in July. A lot of SEC hitters are going to struggle against him. When you go into this ball game tonight here in Game 2 of the LSU Tennessee series, and my apologies. Sorry. When you go into Game 2 of this series against a guy like Phillips, who's 6'4", 250 and throws 98, there's not a lot of college hitters that can hit that guy, man. It's a big league arm. It's the thing that you don't understand when all you do is live in a vacuum, when you have this tunnel vision and all you watch is LSU. And you watch them pummel Louisiana Tech and Nichols and these midweek opponents, and then they come up against guys that are big league arms, and they struggle. It's one of the reasons why, and a lot of you don't like me to say this, but I'm going to say it again because I've done this long enough to know that all I can do is be honest with you. LSU's non-conference schedule is embarrassing. You can say whatever you want, man, about midweek games or playing at Nichols or Fort Wayne and all this crap. The bottom line is LSU's non-conference strength of schedule is 238 in the country. Your non-conference schedule is 238. You want to pad your stats offensively? Play a non-conference schedule that has Purdue, Fort Wayne, Omaha. What other trash was on that non-conference schedule? I even know I'm not even looking it up. That's your problem. But this is still a very talented baseball team. Not worried about that. But you got to be honest with yourself, man. Like, you can get jacked up about hitting 400-foot bombs against McNeese. What happens when you got to go face a lefty throwing 100? That's going to be a top 15 pick and be in the bigs in 18 months. Will, guess we're using Cowan where tomorrow? Do you think Jay pulled Ianson too early? I don't think he pulled Ianson too early. Ianson in this ball game was at 111. Excuse me. I'm going to look at my notes. I took my notes on my phone. Excuse me. They pulled him top 7. He went walk single to lead off the 7, went to Primo to go lefty. That's the right decision. He was at 111. The first 2 guys had already gotten on base. He had a lefty at the plate. He went lefty. It was the right decision when they pulled him. If he got the first 2 guys of the 7th out and pulled him, we'd have a different conversation. But when you go walk single, the first 2 guys of the inning you're on, you're at 111 pitches, probably the right decision. Never bunt. Omar the Tiger, glad to have you, man. Thanks for being there, Omar. Welcome. James, is Yeski that good of a pitching coach for a bullpen relief? Is that bad consistently? James, I think it's a fair question. But Nate Yeski was a great pitching coach at Oregon State. He was great at Arizona. He was great at A&M. And by the way, LSU's pitching staff right now has the best ERA of an LSU pitching staff since 2015. I think sometimes it's very obvious to focus on what doesn't go well instead of what does. Like, how about this? I'm not being critical. I'm just trying to explain. Cade Anderson last year as a freshman came in, was awesome in the midweek, had an SEC ERA of 27. Think about what I just said. Now, that guy's about to be a top 15 pick in the draft in July. Well, who gets credit for that? Yeski. Ianson. It's been awesome. Like, Evans coming in as a freshman is great. Like, for a lot of young guys, man, it's just hard. William Schmidt is a great... William Schmidt is this year's version of Cade Anderson from a year ago. Cade Anderson was awesome in the non-conference. He had an ERA of 27 in the SEC. Now, he's about to be a top 15 pick. That's Schmidt. It's just mound time and experience, man. They're going to be fine. Caden Turner, where did the bats go? It's pretty different when you play Tennessee as opposed to Purdue, Fort Wayne, Nichols, McNeese, Northwestern State. You get it. How about this? Jay's coaching was miserable. Bunting is killing me. I hate bunting. I don't know what Jay could have done differently tonight, honestly. I would ask you candidly, like, what would you have wanted him to, like that? When I see something like that, my reaction is always not to say you're wrong. It's to say, what would you have done differently? The Curiel bunt, bottom 5 with the runner on third, I'm with you. But he was bunting for a hit. And if you got a runner on third and the third baseman's playing deep in the hole and you feel like you can lay one down, get on base, and get that run home, great. Perfect. Score a run. It's a 2-0 ball game. I mean, you cut the lead in half. I get it. You're trying to get a run home. But he didn't. He was out of first. I hate bunting. All right, please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel. If you're watching or listening on demand, thank you for being with us here. This is wrong. David said bunting with 2 outs to move runners twice. They weren't bunting to move runners. They were bunting for a hit and to score a run. There's a very big difference between having a runner on first with nobody out, laying down a sacrifice bunt to move the runner into scoring position and giving yourself up, and having a runner on third with 2 outs and laying down a bunt, because in that situation, you're trying to get on base and score the run. It's a different strategy altogether. It just didn't work. So see if the Tigers can get it done tomorrow or whenever you're watching this, in game 3. But I will say, Tennessee's going to throw a freshman in Tegan Coons, who's lost 2 of his last 3 starts, hasn't gone more than 2 2/3 either of the last 2 outings. You've got Ware, Evans, Cowan available, and best case, maybe Ware starts, gets you through the lineup once. Cowan and Evans can get you home, and your offense shows up against a bullpen day for Tennessee. If that's the case, awesome. You win the series, you're exactly where you need to be. You want to pace toward 20-10, which is the thing we've talked about since the beginning of the year, y'all. And right now, you're at 13-7 through 20 games with 10 to go. Win a home game on Saturday, you're at 14-7. You got 3 weekends left. You need to get 6. Can you win 2 at A&M, 2 at home against Arkansas, 2 at South Carolina? You do that, you're at 20-10, you're a national seed. But you got to win game 3 on Sunday at the box. Y'all, it's a Sunday at the box, man. It's a 2 o'clock first pitch. Crowd's going to be awesome. Hat tip to the LSU crowd. Record-setting crowd at the box on Saturday night. Bummer that it came in a loss, but still, over 13,000. It's hilarious that Tennessee a few weeks ago tweeted about like their record-setting crowd. Sorry. We went away somehow. I don't know what happened there. My apologies. It's hilarious that Tennessee a few weeks ago tweeted about their record-setting crowd. It was like 5,000 people, which is basically like a Tuesday night at the box against Northwestern State. But 13,376 for LSU against Tennessee on the Saturday night. Awesome. Hat tip to the Tiger fans that showed up, showed out, were loud, were awesome. Just didn't work for you, man. You were in a nip and tuck ball game, and you gave up a giant 8th inning. It sucks. It just sucks. It happens. It sucks. You gave up a 6th spot in the 8th, and the game got away from you. They gave up a 6th spot in the 9th, and the game got away from them on Friday night. So guess what? You're even. Now let's see if the Tigers can go out there behind Ware, Cowan, Evans, hopefully, and bats against a bullpen day for Tennessee on Sunday and win the series. Okay. By the way, this is a good point. Trey Potan said Georgia was 17-13, got a top 8 last year. It's not to say, Trey, that you have to get to 20 to be a national seed. It's just to say that that's the benchmark, that if you're there, there's no doubt. Like, let that be your target. Because if you get to 20, only once in this era has an SEC team won 20 games and not been a national seed. That was South Carolina in 2016. So, especially now with an expanded SEC and the strength of schedules being what they are, you get to 20-10, you're in. So, set that as your goal. And even if you pace close to that, you might get there, but you'll leave no doubt if you get to 20. So, let's see. Tigers can win a game on Sunday in game 3 of this series. Okay, y'all. That'll do it for us here on this Saturday night live edition of Locked on LSU. Hey, if you're on podcast or YouTube and you're not watching us live, remember, subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the bell so you're notified whenever we go live so you can join us here on the post-game show. I regret to inform you that on Sunday I have an event and I will not be live as soon as the game goes final, but I will have a post-game Sunday episode, for you. In the meantime, YouTube, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. Podcast, please subscribe on your favorite podcast app, rate us, leave a review. Let a friend know they love the Tigers. We got you every single day for Locked on LSU, your team every day.